Alrighty, family, peace, love, and law. Hope everybody is having a great day out there today. We are now in the In God We Trust Academy Lawman podcast. We're on episode 15 today. Hope everybody is definitely having a great day. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in with us. Wherever you may be tuning in. We got about 3 to 4 more minutes and we're going to get started. In the meantime, we got a few announcements to make with you guys today. Ability of that, just to make sure that we clear on that. And let's see what else we got. God's Law, My Salvation, which is this month. So in 26 days. We will be in Atlanta. You guys better hurry up, and get yourself situated. Get in class right now, right? And if you don't, I don't know what else to tell you. You're going to be missing out. So, yeah, we're going to be covering majority status, rights, due process, jurisdiction, and legal remedies. Saturday, June the 27th. It will be 10 a.m. Eastern time instead of Central, but donation is $125 in person, $100 on live stream. InGodWeTrustAcademy.com is where you register. If you do pay by cash out, make sure that you send email confirmation to admin@InGodWeTrustAcademy.org. All right, limited spots are available, so donate and secure your spot immediately. Right now is when everybody usually just start rushing in too, so make sure. Also, we got an exclusive discount code that you can see here. And in using this code, it will give you a 10-volume series of the Lawman 10-volume series, right? And it is 50% off. So you have to use this code. You have to the end of the week to be able to use this code. And those of you that are watching on TikTok, you can just check the story. You will see it there. All right. Also, we still are giving consultations. People always ask, how do you book a consultation? Go to InGodWeTrustAcademy.com and you can book it there. Just put in consultation in the search, whether it's emergency or just a regular consultation. However it may be, it is there for you if you are interested. Also, June the 7th, all right, this Sunday, trust class, $20. Get in there. You know, this is the last little minute. Now, if you miss it at this price, hey, that's on you because it's going to be over $100 when it's done. So, yeah, better get in where you fit in right now. All right, just make sure we clarify on those things. But other than that, though, what's up with you guys? How y'all doing in here?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, for real. Doing great. No complaints. No complaints in whatsoever. That was just one person, though. So the rest of y'all in here, y'all good?
Yeah, chill up, big dog. Keep them pushing, you know?
Hey, you feel me? Got to. All right, so today, I don't know what's going on with my internet today. It just keeps popping off. See if I can take my phones off. Did we hit the record button? We good? Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. We'll just keep it pushing. All right, guys. So, with that being said, guys, welcome to the Lawman Podcast, episode 15. Appreciate you guys for your participation as always. Give thanks to the Almighty for everything that has taken place that transpires up until this moment for us to be able to have the meeting of the minds here today. All right. Everything that you hear is for educational and religious purposes only. Anybody seeking any form of legal advice, please do seek a legal advisor. All right, so we got anybody with any form of testimonies in here today? Any testimonies today? Y'all more than welcome to speak. Boy, what I will tell y'all is this. we've been getting fewer and fewer in here since people realized what we had to tell them. Then they said, "Damn him, we're going to somewhere where it fits my narrative." What's up, Heather? You got something you want to say, Heather? You good? Or did she just leave?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey, hey, hey.
um, so a couple weeks ago, I had my car repoed, and I got your video and your ebook, and we had a consult, and so I went ahead and filed a claim against uh, the bank, um, the intermediary, the company that does the repossession order
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, then and the car and the tow truck company. And so I filed everything into a Utah, and I did a fee waiver, um and they accepted everything. And then I filed a motion for a temporary restraining order. And so I have to go back in and see if I can find out what's going on. But I don't have anything other than that, just that I took action and it felt really good to exercise my rights, and they're trespassing and they disrupted the peace. So there's that. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
I'll
thank
follow
you.
up.
And continue to push forward as well. And it's also good that they accepted your the waiving of the fee as well as too. So that means you did everything according to procedure. That creates that remedy for you. So good job on that as well. And yeah, just keep us updated though. And you'll definitely win what you're supposed to. We talked about what needs to be looked at and how to deal with that situation. So you attack it in that manner. You use truth, proof, law, and relief. You will definitely get the outcome you want for sure. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
What's going on, brother E? I don't have no testimony, but I'll share that. We're in our first phase. We just received the evidence from the dash cam, body cam, applying everything we done learned from your course, the academy. So that's kind of where we at. Looking forward to the next phase.
All right. So they didn't already sent you everything?
Well, Ackworth did. Waiting to hear response from like Cobb County, and there's another entity that was involved.
Dang. It was 2, 3 entities involved?
Yep,
Who actually made the charge?
Ackworth.
Mm. Okay. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, you want everybody's. That way it'll be that way it ain't never no, you get what I'm saying? Like no misinformation that could be given from one to the other. So yeah,
Yes,
definitely
sir.
good.
And I appreciate you and the whole family.
Oh yeah, bro. Appreciate you for sure. Anybody else? Anybody else? It be other people that got plenty of testimonies, but I think they be working and stuff like that. They usually catch me on YouTube, I mean, on TikTok or something, and let me know, hey, I got a testimony I need to bring. Yeah, well, if y'all ever get a chance to come up here, come let us know. When y'all see Larry, whenever he come in here, I think he got like 2 or 3 of them. So y'all hear him maybe sometime this month. He'll come tell you about it. But yeah, y'all just keep going, keep growing, yo. The thing is a lot of the methods that we do in here is frowned upon in the so-called sovereign citizen journey, well, groups and stuff like that. But we win though. That's just what it is. We're not talking about a bunch of pushback and this and that or being called sovereign citizens throughout the processes and shit like that. Like, we winning. And that's what literally matters the most. And, a win is a win. And we want to make sure that, we the remedy that we seek, we able to get it, and we able to get it either through law or equity, however it may be. But let it be done so. Right? So what's up though? Anybody, what y'all got going today? Anybody else got something they want to say before we chop it up? All right, then. So what y'all got going today? Y'all gonna be silence.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
That's the issue. So, I'm in small claims code Equifax, right? And I did certified mail. So I sent it. Well, so I did certified mail, and I messed around, sent it to the wrong address at first. My bad. So I had to file a motion. They granted the motion. I had to just change the complaint around. Cool. So now I done resent it off, and it got delivered last week. I'm waiting on a 3811. I ain't got it yet, but I even called the post office back and talked to him. Lady was like, "Yeah, it got delivered." She was like, "It's a law firm, so it might take a couple of days. It'll never take this long." Mind you, the date coming up for the hearing, so I'm like, now at the point, I
Nah,
could
you
tell
already showed proof that you served. So and then now up on the proper of that proper service, you can count the days from there.
count the days of when it was delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you got proof of certified mail, right?
Well, yeah, but see, I didn't, what I'm saying? I was like, dang, when I called the clerk, I know I got to file back in the court. I thought I had to wait for the 3811 to file that back in for proof of service. Cause it's just proof of delivery, really. You know what I'm saying? They ain't sent it back to me.
What, the green card?
Yeah,
Shit, you can search that, bro. You can get on the internet and search that right now.
yeah,
You
it's
look at
still,
law.
yeah. When I looked it up, it was showing that it was still at the law firm. So like it got delivered, but they ain't never sent it back out.
That ain't your problem.
Um,
The post office can't hold up the method of them being served. They were served. They were served. That's all that matters.
right. So even if they don't send a 3811, I can just file
Man,
back in the
that's their
court, with
fault.
my proof.
You can't let something
Yeah,
like that slow you down because of that. That's their
right,
fault. Like, it's already been proven they've been served. All you got to do is uh, put in the tracking number, and it's gonna say that.
right. Facts, facts. All
Yeah.
right, I got you. I'm on it today.
All right, you definitely got some proof that it's been delivered. Now, if it's been delivered to the correct address to where they have to, that's them. That's their job. That's their duty. None of that your
Yeah,
fault. None of that. It's on them.
it was the registered agent. I made sure I called the Secretary of State. I verified everything, so I made sure everything's put together. I'm just like, dang, I'm waiting, waiting on the way to file in the case so I could do my return service. But I was just like, I thought I had to wait for the 3811.
Mm. No, they already been served. So all you can literally do is show. Did you file a certificate of service in there?
Yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, say less. You did your part. So now just wait on them. Count down the days, and if they default, that's on them.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. What's up? Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Since there is nobody else, we're gonna move into some questions for you guys. Then we're gonna see what y'all know. Y'all always asking me questions. I'm finna ask y'all some questions. Y'all ready?
No.
She said no. Well, y'all gotta be ready. Y'all gotta be ready. Or y'all just want to hear me talk today, and we study and we read on something today. I didn't really come prepared for all that today. I kind of been set in a different mood toward other things today, so forgive me if I seem distracted or something, because I just got other things to take care of at the same time. But I just wanted to hear from y'all, see what y'all got going on. What's in y'all as well, because I got questions to ask. Because we need to make sure everybody have a true, real understanding of who they are. What is your position here? What are you to do? What are you are supposed to be doing in relations to um, the government? I was asked today, like based upon the people always say the system. What is the system, guys? Can anybody identify to me what the system is? What is the system?
I would say it's the rules and regulations that we're supposed to follow, actually, but we don't know them, so that's why we call it that.
So basically, you're inquiring on the government system and how it functions. Which that's why I say, like, when people, they were like, I'm tired of this system or what this system is. Like, what system are we speaking of? Are we talking about just a social type system, which we the people have created in ignorance, or are we talking about a the governing functioning system and how it runs? We have to be specific, and I'm learning more and more every day that words are very specific. Using words and just using words just to be using words without context and stuff like that, man, it throws a loop and a confusion to us. So we have to truly be in and do this in context itself. It's so important. So when we speak these words, when we say these things, what is it actually do we mean? Like for instance, all right, I did just listen to this. I want you to hear how people think and respond. And I'm serious when I say this too. Listen to what I'm finna say. All right. It was this. Okay, so I wrote on my post the other 2 days ago, I said motion to strike. And then I just put like what it would inquire in a motion to strike, what that would look like. So it says, comes now the defendant moves to strike all immaterial, unsupported, and inadmissible matter from the record. Grounds for this motion are as follows. Allegations are not evidence. Assertions are not proof. Attorney arguments are not testimony. Unsworn statements cannot establish facts, and unauthenticated documents lack proper final foundation. Irrelevant and immaterial matter cannot satisfy the burden of proof. The court may consider only competent and admissible evidence when determining disputed facts. Wherefore, the defendant respectfully requests that all unsupported allegations, conclusion, and inadmissible matter be stricken from the record, and that the moving party be required to prove every element through competent, admissible evidence, which you will literally have to point out the things that you're talking about, right? So now most cases are built on allegations, judgments, however, must be built on proof. When allegations are mistaken for evidence, the proper response is not argument. It is a motion to strike. Now, that is just me stating what a motion to strike is, what it looks like, what it's used for. Now, I just want you to listen to what people say. Somebody jumped in and said, hey, a motion to strike assumes the court has jurisdiction. A motion to dismiss or demur is allowed before entering the jurisdiction of the court. So the question is, why would you say some stupid shit? It's not that what you said was crazy, but it is stupid in relations to what the hell we're talking about. What does a motion to dismiss or the assumption of jurisdiction? What happens if the court actually do have jurisdiction? Because every court is not going to lack jurisdiction for something. Let's say everything was done perfectly correct, and then you do have to do a motion to strike. You just going to disregard that because your thought of wanting to say, hey, that means they assume the jurisdiction. No, there is definitely no assumption if you're already going into discovery and trial, etc. There is no assumption at all, right? It is the fact that you agree that they do have jurisdiction from that point. But my point is, if I wanted to speak on a motion to dismiss or demur, I would have freaking done so. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
See, this is what people do. So now, then somebody pops up and said, That's why we have trials and evidence hearings, of course, but you still need to learn to do a motion to strike. Like, why are y'all so bent over motion to strike? It will work in your favor if the evidence is not supposed to be there, right? So how does it feel to act? Somebody said, how does it feel to act as a trustee and want a compensation? You're defending the state property. What the fuck does motion to strike have to do with that? And prove that we're defending state property. No, and I guarantee you this person is going to use a theory. They're not going to go into law and they're not going to prove it because they're going to say that a U.S. citizen is considered a corporation. And we've already been there. Just went there again this morning on TikTok for somebody. We just proved that where
So
it says, what you say, bro?
my fault. I was about to say, so motion strike, that's like an objection, right?
Well, no, an objection is something else. You can object to certain evidence being placed into something, and then you can move to strike it from the record.
But you're saying motion to strike, like if some evidence is there and like a procedure violation or your due process violation, rights are violated, right?
Well, that goes because you got motion to strike, you got motion to exclude, and you got motion to suppress. You suppress that particular motion. Motion to suppress is for what you just said. When we doing the striking, it's because there's like, immaterial here. It's not competent. It's those type of things. It doesn't mean there's a violation of due process. You get what I'm saying? You can't use the evidence that you're trying to use upon the violation of due process. You suppress it.
Okay, I got it.
Now, if it's irrelevant, etc., then you just excluded it. It doesn't really mean you can do it to a motion to exclude. But the point of me saying this too, bro, is like it's just to the point to like I just want y'all to see how people respond to things without actually reading. They literally read this whole entire status and just was like, "Yo, you're defending state property." And then somebody who felt like they was right liked it. Like, dude, come, like y'all not don't make sense. Instead of just taking what was being said, and this is why I say it's so important that we really sit down, right, and do what's necessary, right? Okay. For instance, somebody said I just petitioned the court. This is what they said. Let me pull it up because they said a lot on here. So I just want y'all to listen. I just petitioned the court 2 different times to strike a specific performance and judgment on the grounds that they were null and void because my attorney had 2 strokes before the hearing and the opposing side had filed for a continuance and the judge denied it and had a one-sided hearing and robbed my entire state of a court of $1 million. And when I filed the petition to strike, the judge denied. So I had to file the bankruptcy on this scumbags, got something coming from them. So my point of me saying this is like you sit there and took a harm that you didn't have to take. And then I asked them, so did you use the higher court for equitable remedy? They said, I filed it in the same court. I wanted to give them a chance to prove that there is law legal and what they did, they do. They looked at my evidence that my attorney had 2 strokes and filed for continuance and that it was denied and held a one-sided hearing. So my point is this, like you still went to a court that already called, you went into you trying to get them to do something that they already decided on. You might as well go to the higher court and prohibit this situation because of the fact you don't have any counsel that's present. The counsel wasn't even able to make it, etc. And that this is why. You see what I'm saying? If they made a judgment based upon that judgment needs to be vacated for this specific reason. You got to go seek equity. If you don't do that, then you filing in that same particular court, it ain't going to do anything. So it's like it's not that a motion to strike is wrong, but you're trying to strike evidence, not you're trying to strike a procedure. That's something different. There's something else that you have to do, right? So you have to stop them in their procedure. You could have did a judicial notice and enter that in with them to let them know. You exhaust the remedy through that matter is there, and you could have literally just vacated the judgment for these specific reasons. And if they didn't move in the way you wanted to, then you can do a writ of prohibition. Writ of mandamus just depends on if they were supposed to perform some ministerial duty. But in this case, if there's an error in this case, then a writ of certiorari is to be used as well. Just depends. But you do have a higher court there for a specific reason, and you have to use it. If you don't use it, then this is where you're going to end up suffering at. This is why I say it's so important. It's so important for us to understand we can't go into this with any emotions, man. Let the emotions go away from this. All right? If you want to win, you got to do this right. Then somebody, like, okay, this dude right here, right? I said due process violations can lead to suppression of evidence when the law enforcement obtain evidence through unconstitutional conduct, such as unlawful searches, coerced statements, denial of counsel, or other violations of the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 14th Amendment. Courts may exclude evidence obtained in violation of the constitutional protection because constitutional right must have meaningful enforcement, not just symbolic recognition, right? So this guy says the 14th Amendment wasn't actually ratified. Look it up. So listen. And this is what I be trying to understand to people, trying to see what people be trying to say. So if you want to say that the 14th Amendment was not ratified when it actually was, because all of the states end up still accepting it, then you can go look at the history of it if you want to. Look it up. But since y'all want to say that, then that means that right now, if that's the case, then there's a lot of people here who don't have political rights, including women. So when y'all say that shit, just know, women, you don't have rights. Because without the 14th being present, neither will the 15th nor the 16th, etc., right? Do everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yep.
Now, I'm serious. The 14th Amendment is what leads into a woman having rights. So that's why I say when a lot of people be on this journey saying certain stuff, where's y'all proof at? Where y'all going to show y'all proof at? Right? So it says the 14th Amendment was ratified by the last required state on July the 9th, 1868, and formally certified by the Secretary of the State on July the 28th, 1868. And this means that by July the 9th, 1868, 28 of the 37 states had approved it, meeting the 3/4 requirement under Article 5 of the Constitution. Right? Now, when you go look at the history of all the other states, then they came a little bit after. So I can literally tell you the dates. Because then some of these states then become states to after the Reconstruction era anyway. But anyway, somebody gonna say that, oh well, they didn't do it. Well, maybe they wasn't a part of it at the time of the Reconstruction era, as you've seen. That it was only considered to be, again, it was only 37 states, 28 of them at that particular time, June the 9th, 1868, fully ratified it. So let's look this up. Let's see. All right, so we got Connecticut, June 25th, 1866. New Hampshire, July 6th, 1866. I feel like we already been through this before, but we're going to do it again. Tennessee, July 19, 1866. New Jersey, 1866. Oregon, 1866. Vermont, 1866. Ohio, 1867. New York, 1867. Kansas, 1867. Illinois, 1867. West Virginia, 1867. So is Michigan, Minnesota, Maine, Nevada, Indiana, Missouri, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Nebraska, Iowa, Arkansas. Well, it stops in Nebraska in 1867. Then we get into 68. You got Iowa, Arkansas, Florida, North Carolina, Louisiana, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, Mississippi, and see, all of these are the what states that I'm calling out. Why were they? Why were they the last states? Come on, every state that I'm calling out now. When I started at Arkansas, when I said Arkansas, Florida, North Carolina,
Southern Confederate states.
they just thank you. Shit. So yes, they was gonna be the last ones because they didn't want to get. They didn't want to give you no. They already didn't want to get rid of slavery. Shit, that was the point of the Civil War in the first place. Then they got to turn around and give you political rights too, behind the 14th Amendment. So yes, Arkansas 1868, Florida 68, North Carolina 68, Louisiana 1868, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, Mississippi, Texas. Mississippi and Texas came in 1870. Delaware 1901. But go look at when Delaware became a state. Maryland 1959, California 1959, and Kentucky was 1976. It says a few states initially rejected the amendment and later ratified it. North Carolina rejected it on December the 14th, 1866, and then ratified it on July the 4th, 1868. South Carolina, which is all going to be South states, so you do understand that, right? So, Louisiana, Georgia, but you got to understand we didn't already got the majority in 1868. Yeah, we got the majority in 1868. So the 3/4 was already taken care of, right? Now, Georgia rejected it in 1868. Virginia did in 1867. And Texas rejected it in 1866 and came back 1870. Delaware, Maryland, Kentucky did not ratify until many decades later. So now, let's ask the question, why? Why were they later? Yeah. So Delaware was a slave state that remained in the Union during the Civil War. Many political leaders, Delaware, opposed Reconstruction amendments because they believed the federal government was intruding into matters traditionally left to the states. Why? Because at that particular time, states was the only one deciding citizenship. They didn't want the federal government to be able to decide that, right? And they were opposing the national citizenship. They wanted to be able to keep that. But they kept writing these bullshit statutes, right? Kentucky strongly opposed Reconstruction despite remaining in the Union. Many Kentuckians viewed the 14th Amendment as a federal coercion and believed it improperly expanded federal power over the states. Kentucky rejected the amendment in 1867 and did not symbolically ratify it until 1976. So it took them all the way to 1976 to ratify that amendment. The 14th Amendment had already been part of the U.S. Constitution for decades. Their later ratification did not affect its validity because Article 5 only requires ratification by 3/4 of the states in existence at that time. So and that's just like right now. Like people can say whatever, but shit, it's already been satisfied by law. Who gives a damn what you think? They didn't. They didn't give a damn because Kentucky didn't want to agree. The law said 3/4. They got those 3/4, even if it took until 1868. The amendment was officially declared ratified in 1868 after the required number of states had approved it. Whether a state later changed its mind, or later decided to ratify had no effect on its constitutional status. So there you go. I'm just saying. So that's my point of me asking y'all, like, why do y'all choose to say stuff like that? And do you understand what you're saying to people? Right? And I'm especially saying to women that be on this journey, because women that be on this journey, if you want to remove all of that, then do you understand your position before the Reconstruction era? Seriously. To any woman in here. Yay, nay, y'all do, y'all don't. It's okay to speak. Oh man, y'all gonna play the silent game today. Are y'all for real?
Oh nah, bro. Yeah, I'm on the phone I'm on the phone with the post office.
Y'all men though. I said women. There's about 10
Uh,
women up in here. I'm serious. I want people to understand what they be saying though. Like, you're really removing women from political rights when you do that. Just one of those things. See, you got to understand the 14th Amendment says that you have any person. It didn't say it didn't say a male. It said any person. So if you were born on this land, on the continental land of the United States of America, you are a national and citizen of the United States. Once you become that, you automatically develop political rights, right? Automatically. So, with that being said, that brings us into 15th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Right? Mm-hmm. This is very important. The 19th Amendment. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. So you got the 16th, and then it's so sad that they had to say, well, this is still just only talking about me. No, no, no. Because you got to understand when we say all persons, we talking about women as well. The women have political rights, but they was trying to deny y'all the political rights under the 19th Amendment. But guess what? You don't get to the 19th Amendment till we go to the 14th Amendment, which actually says that everybody has political rights if you're born on this land. Mm-hmm. So the 15th Amendment was race, 19th Amendment was sex, right? The 26th Amendment, voting age lowered to 18. So before 1920, voting rules vary significantly by state. After the 19th Amendment, states could no longer exclude women from voting simply because they were women. But again, the 14th Amendment ensured that we had all political rights, which leads us into the 15th and the 19th and the 26th Amendment to still be available today, right? It does that. So this is why I'm saying when y'all say that y'all want to, the 14th Amendment wasn't ratified, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Okay. So basically, we just want to go to a place where people were stateless and still held in slavery, is what you're insinuating. And since that's what you're insinuating, then we kind of know where you stand at when it comes to history. And I think a lot of people who really benefited from this happening that says this type of shit, you just don't understand what's what when it comes to government. That's a fact. But it's really there for you to understand and see. So, again, what does this person now? We just did what that person said. They said, look it up. We looked it up and we just discovered that what? It was ratified. It took to 1868 to complete the mission, but it happened. Right?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
So now, how do you think people feel like they're gonna take something away that everybody gets to benefit from right now? We all benefit from it at this very moment because the actual citizen of the United States, which is the national citizenship that we have, right? Without that, without that coming into play, without the 13th and 14th Amendment coming into play, then we would still be dealing with the same horrendous acts that was taking place before this takes place. And that's just one of those things, right? So I mean, it's like, are we? Is that what we want? Is that what people really want? Because law and history go hand in hand. Is that what we really truly want? What I want somebody to do in here today is to define. Tell me the meaning of the Sesta Trust. Why was it created?
Created to um in the New Deal, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
It's created to do what?
I said it was created during the New Deal to
No, Sesta Trust was created in 1666, right before Franklin D.
16,
Roosevelt.
way before then. Okay.
It was
I
created to account for those lost souls at sea or any interest in property that would have been held in their name
And why is that?
It
because it
took
was
too long to
abandoned
expand.
property and the state had to deal with it.
You say that again.
Abandoned property that the state had to deal with.
It wasn't abandoned though.
Lost at sea,
It's not lost.
unaccounted for,
The property is not lost, nor was it not considered to be unaccounted for. It is accounted for.
unclaimed.
The point, no,
Unclaimed.
it ain't unclaimed. It is claimed. You got to understand, if you was to go missing right now today, right, and let's say 6-7 years, nobody has seen you, found you. There is no type of trace of activity, business, nothing that deals with you, right? Now it's up to your family to presume that you are under the presumption of death, that you would presume to be dead. They get to make that call upon you. And the reason why is because there could be a lot of property being held in your name. And it needs to go to your heirs, your family. But if this Sesta Trust don't come into existence, then that will forever be stuck in your name. And we'll never know nothing else. It's just stuck. Property can't be moved, transferred. Heirs can't do anything. Heirs can't, even if the heirs got into a situation they wanted to sell it, they can't do shit. Nothing. This is the purpose of why it's created, which is why you have a probate today for this very same reason. Literally. Even
So
the
that
whole,
property is
you say what now?
stillborn.
Go ahead.
So that the property isn't stillborn. Well, not a stillborn, but just still.
Yeah, it has to be able to move and transfer. If we don't create this method, then yes, it's stuck. We would still be dealing with property and land that still be held by people in the 1800s, etc. They still have it. You see what I'm saying? That's a thing.
So it kind of sounds like ain't no generational wealth without it because they wouldn't be able to move.
Exactly. It ain't gonna move. That's the thing. Nor would you be able to take control of the estate and handle anything on its behalf either. So you know how you able to take control of your ancestors' estate and being able to set up foundations and all of that type. You wouldn't even be able to do that. None whatsoever. But this is the purpose of what it's for. That's the reason why I say, like, a lot of people say when you look at it and you actually read the laws, and as soon as they say, hey, well, the mother allegedly she gave the child away to the state. No, the fuck she didn't. She ensured that the child was going to be protected in all of its rights, interests, etc., in inheritance of its property, and that its rights is going to be protected as well. That's what she did, because if something happens to the mother, the state knows of the child and that the child is a citizen, not stateless. Because if the child becomes stateless, oh my goodness, you gonna let that happen? You go read the Bible. God said if you take somebody out of the book of life, bro, something gonna happen to you. You don't do that. That child still has a right to life, liberty, etc., and that's only going to be protected by the state. Because if it comes up to the people, well, we know how people feel about people. We know how people feel about people. Some people despise what people look because of how they look, their color, or whatever. They not them. However, whether they rich or poor, you classify people in these eras, and you could care less about people's children. So without the state protecting that right, then a lot of people would be left without any form of citizenship, political status, etc. Which we've already, this is what the Reconstruction era was about, 13th and 14th Amendment. They saw a certain set of people and they said, hey, we don't want them to be like us. We can't give them the same citizenship as us. And they even did it on purpose. They was like, hey, guess what? There is no law for us to, there's no law for a white man to respect from a black man. There is no law. And that was really like a laughing matter. Like, he ain't got no citizenship. He ain't got no political rights. What we talking about? What he need? We ain't got to do nothing. They understood that was a problem. And if you don't fix this problem, then what do you guys think was going to happen if the Dred Scott case does not trigger the 14th Amendment? What do you guys think will happen? It's easy to know. If I went to war with you guys and we won this war, and then when we get done, I go and say, you ain't got no political rights, you ain't got nothing, I ain't giving you nothing. What the fuck y'all gonna do?
Rebel.
You say what?
Rebel against you.
We going back to war, ain't we? Shit. We going right back into war. We ain't even gonna hesitate. We fresh about the blood, bro. We going right back in. We ain't finna hesitate. We going right back into war. That's what's gonna happen. Y'all, like, this is what I'm trying to give people to understand. Like, we going right back into war if this does not get satisfied. It was a huge threat. Shit, we just went to war for this bullshit. Y'all want to go back? Better hear it, man. We got to pass this. Why? Because you understood the people that you had alongside you going to war with you. You shed blood here. Your ancestors, your people, etc., shed the blood here on this land. How you gonna be foreign in the government that you in? It's not true at all. Listen, this is what I want y'all to understand. Anybody that's gonna come take over your country, do not hide it. Is the United States hiding when they go over somewhere and they say we finna take over? Is they gonna try to hide that they not running shit over there? No, they not hiding. If a foreign government ever came, the same way France did Morocco and Hades, etc., and all this type of stuff, that's how it would happen. They're not gonna hide from you that there's a actual foreign government taking over your government. They're not gonna hide that. I promise you. They want to show power, and they want to show you that your laws are still subordinate to their laws. They ain't finna hide that, none whatsoever. But the only thing that's gonna give you the real reality of this is if you really truly start reading what's being said. So if we remove that, then yeah, we finna go back into war. Y'all can remove it if you want to. Watch and see what happens. A lot of y'all ain't gonna do nothing no way because y'all make claims about the government doing this, this, and that, but you have no proof, nor are you ready to make a move about it. Because you have no proof. And if you did, what's the move to make? I mean, I don't know nobody sitting with an army tank in their driveway. Do y'all? I don't know nobody. I don't see nobody. And this is why it's so important for us to have this full understanding. For real. Otherwise, we choose to go back into slavery in any other way because everything that has taken place up until now has advanced us to what society is today. And I ain't saying it's perfect, but it's damn sure better off than what it was. For real, for real. So yes, that's the reason why it was created. The mother didn't just give the freaking child away. She didn't. She protected the child to make sure the child has a citizenship. and be recognized in rights, etc. Now, do I think that we got the best orphanage type of programs, etc.? If something was to happen and there's no family, no, I do not think that we got the best type of programs. I think we can uplift and do it better. But it also takes for families and things like that to be involved in a certain different way than what we are. But again, like I said, if we was to leave it up to people in the state, if we would leave it back up to the states to decide these things, well, the states had already showed that they was going to show some type of discrimination. They was going to discriminate the woman because she's a woman, and they was going to discriminate other people because they felt like you were inferior based upon your color or so-called genetic makeup. That's exactly what they feel. So this is the reason why certain things were done in the way that it was, because of that way of thinking. We can't go back to that. I don't think America would be stupid enough to try to push back to that. If you do, boy. Somebody has something to say? So y'all can speak. So now, do y'all understand what a minor account is in here? What's a minor account? Boy, y'all finna get an F on this test today. What's the minor account?
An account outside of the majority status.
Yeah, that's true. But what is a minor account? Just listen and think about it in your mind. Picture yourself as a minor. And who was in your life? Your parent, whoever. Now,
A custodial account.
So you say it's a custodial account. So what's a custodial account?
Someone else speaks for you on your behalf.
Someone such as who?
A relative, family member, or one that has rights.
Which is
authority.
A guardian.
Authority.
So somebody
Guardian.
that's a guardian or your parents. So if someone goes and takes and open up a bank account in your name, Miss Robinson, like your mother, right? That makes that what type of account?
Minor account.
Makes it minor account. And since it's a minor account, that means that your mother, parent, whoever, guardian, they are the custodians of the account on your behalf. Right? Now, when do you take over that account, Miss Robinson?
When you hit the majority status.
Which is?
Or age of majority. 18 in most states.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes 19, sometimes 21.
Yep. Exactly. So now, once you become this age, what would you do to take control of your minor account?
Take over the accounts or administer the accounts.
Which would be to do what?
Perform.
Because at a bank, you would have to go do what? You got to go sign a signature card, right?
Yes.
There you go. So now, when everybody
just like after a certain age, you'll get possession of your social security card, and on the back it requires a signature. So that would be you taking over the account.
That's a fact. That's not false at all. It's absolutely true. So the question is now, when you receive this, you see what I'm saying? Like, now you just stepped up into this. Now, when you take over the account, what are you insinuating? Miss Shields?
That you're competent.
Competent, okay. Miss Shields, you got an answer to that too? The custodian is a cosigner? No, not necessarily.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
A cosigner is acting in a formal capacity as a surety. That's two different things. A custodian is just you don't owe any obligation of indebtedness to do something. You're just helping someone you're doing something to someone in relations to the account to, seek guidance on it to make sure that everything is handled properly, etc. Right? So now my question to y'all is this. Since now that we know that, now, do you truly understand the purpose of why, okay, there's a birth certificate? I was asked today, earlier, well, why is it that when we send um when we send a FOIA request to, I think it's the Department of State, is where they've been sending it to, and they be saying that they have no records of you being a U.S. citizen. Do you know why? I know why. Took me to read the law to know why, but I know exactly why. Do anybody in here know why?
Because you're a minor?
Exactly, Freedom, because you're not an immigrant. So that means that the Department of State is only going to have records of people who naturalized and took the oath, not you. If you're domestically born here, they're not going to have record of you in that way. How would they have record of you being a national citizen of the United States here? Anybody?
Your birth records.
Your birth records.
That makes sense.
Your birth records. So that means you can go to the state on the land of which you was born, and you can go get a birth certificate showing that you were born on this land. There's your proof. Because it says in Title 8, a person, okay, born in the United States, right, and under the jurisdiction thereof, right, at birth is considered to be what? A national citizen of the United States. So the law describes that. So the only way that you're going to be able to see that is you're going to automatically have to go to these states. Bro said, y'all need to get y'all sovereign citizen game up. Straight up. Well, see, that's the truth, though. Like, so now when you go look up the birth certificate, when you go home, you go to your, wherever you were born, you look up, and then let's say if you didn't actually have a birth certificate at that specific time, well, there still is some type of records that you could have. So that means that if you have somebody that says you were born on this specific land, it was specifically written out, etc. Also, your church records help. Right? If you do a home birth and all this type of stuff, and you got a full affidavit of, what the time the child was born, how the child was born, etc., and that's fully things explained, and they were born on this particular land, then you can take that and you can go put that down on the record, and they're going to issue you out a birth certificate and a Social Security card because you are a national citizen of the United States. Baptismal records. Thank you. You see how this shit all makes sense when you read the law by what it says? Not by what a theory or what you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. Yeah, I know it hurts. It's okay. Trust me. But if you sit down and actually read it and understand what it's saying to you, then you will understand what's exactly happening for you. And then for the people who don't like it, all you have to do is get on an airplane, get on a boat, whatever you choose. And you can literally go to another country, and if they got a different language, good luck. Try to figure out how to understand their language, to read their laws, to know how to gain citizenship in that country. Nobody's stopping you. So when people say, "Oh, I don't have a choice," you do got a choice. Every day you got a choice. You wake up, you choose to stay here, etc. The state done its job. It's supposed to not let you remain stateless at any time. It's not going to let you do that. It's going to do its job in protecting your rights. Honor thy mother and father. So the question is this: what are we the people doing in relations to this? Like, y'all have to say, understand. What do y'all want to do?
We have to take control. and exercise the law. Well, learn the law, study the law, and then apply the law.
Because they're your rights, they're yours. You got full political power here. Full rights of equal protection of the law. And that literally means nobody has a higher right than anybody else. None. The law can't be exercised against you as like it was done in the Dred Scott case. They can't do that. The law can't be used against you in ways to subject you to like a second-class citizen. They can't do that either. The only way they can start treating you in that way, in involuntary servitude or any form of depriving you of any rights, etc., has to happen through a court of law and through due process. It cannot be damaged at any time either. Like, it's so important, and I can't say how much words matter, especially when we come talking about law. We can't just use, and it's like if you're reading in the law and in the statutory law as well, and it says, hey, here's the definition, here's the interpretation of what this means in the continuance of reading out throughout any acts of Congress, right? And then you can't take something else from somewhere else and try to use it to interpret your own meaning. And this has been done in the patriotic sovereign movement for a very, very, very long time. Has it not? And yeah, we got to keep having this talk. I keep realizing that. I kind of felt like the other week that we could have just talked about this one time and moved on, but people still stuck in it. They can't see past it. They can't wrap their mind around nothing else to understand, nor do they want to change it because you already made up in your mind that you want to be against the government. You want to be. So therefore, anything that don't fit your narrative in that manner, you're not gonna change it. Even when we show it to you in proof. Even when we show you that a person born in the United States does not mean a corporation, it literally explains a living being being connected to an umbilical cord, having a heartbeat, breathing, etc. All of this is in 1 USC, 1 USC's 8, right? Title 1, subsection 8. You go read 1 USC 8 and you see that. And it explains a living being being born on this land. And then somebody will say that it's a freaking corporation. Oh, they talking about a corporate, because that's a 14th Amendment citizen, corporation being born. And we all done been there. But when you actually sit down and start reading it, and I'm telling y'all, like everybody asks me, like, well, what helped you and changed your mind and shit? Because I read Title 1, the one I've never heard anybody ever I've never heard anybody just straight out mention it and say, go read it, so that we can have an understanding about everything else we're going to read in the statutes of law or just the law, period. Because again, it's still like, you got to understand, everything in statute is defining the Constitution. So if it tells you a person, who the person in statutory law, that's also who the person is in the Constitution. But what set me on this path when I created the Lawman series. And the first thing you learn in the Lawman series is the foundations of law. And everything that you learn from that point forward is considered to be what? Everything has to start with what first, guys? Starts with the A.
Authority.
Authority. Authority. So if we start with authority and we travel from there and understand when the authority is given, it's creating a jurisdiction. But the jurisdiction cannot step away or outside of the authority that it was granted to legislate. Understood? So yeah, this what got me to that point, because I started reading and said, hey, people don't read this part. Why not? Why are they so quick to tell me that in Title 8 USC 1401 that a person that it's speaking on is a corporation. But then when I read Title 1, it says when it speaks of a person in any act of Congress, a human being, a child, or individual, it shall include an infant. It says shall include. So to include something, shall include means to be a part of the larger whole. And an infant being part of the larger whole of the Homo sapien, meaning toddlers, adults, anybody that's already freaking born. If you're already living, an infant that's born today is a part of the larger whole who has these particular rights.
Sounds like majority and minor to me.
That what does it sound like again?
Sounds like majority and minor.
You see what I'm saying?
Sounds like all.
It's all. So when you look at it and you read from there, and now we got to go understand that in any act of Congress, this is what person is going to mean, unless it's stated in context that it means something else. So when we go read person for 8 USC 1401, a person born in the United States, and the jurisdiction thereof is considered a national and citizen of the United States, and that's not a corporation. I'm sorry. Not what it means. Even when the 14th Amendment spoke on it. So that means that the person that's being described in the 14th Amendment is still a living being. It's not a corporation. A corporation don't have political rights to vote. Does not have a political right to sit in a seat of government. Common fucking sense. Let's just use it this time, today. Just sit and think about it. Right? I got tagged in something the other day. Crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what my boy Tony Best said to these people that got them riled up. I don't know. Don't even really care for real, but I got tagged in something and somebody just wanted to try to talk some shit, and the person that was talking shit, it's like, dude, they were trying to challenge me or question me or something about their Moorish, nationality, etc. And I keep explaining this to people. Am I a Moor? Absolutely. Right? Do I have a Moorish, what you would consider, am I a Moorish American? Yes, I am. But to say Moorish is just speaking of my lineage. To say America just means that I belong to some government on the continent of America. What government would that be? So the government that I belong to on the continent of America or that I'm within is United States of America, which now makes me a what? Family, there's only one way I can describe myself here.
An American.
No. Makes me a what? Come on, people in Canada are Americans. People in Brazil are Americans.
A citizen.
It makes me a what?
Citizen.
A citizen of what though? See, everybody's
of the United States.
There's citizens in Canada. America. There's citizens in Mexico. There's citizens in Brazil. Like these are all different forms of countries. There's citizens in Argentina.
It makes you a citizen of the United States of America.
A national citizen of the United States of America. This is my point. Now, does that mean I lose my right to exercise, to the right to literally, let's see, how can I say it? Be within my lineage, to express my culture and lineage, etc. No, it does not. It means I still get to continue to do that. And then the guy tried to say, "Hey, man, well, I got my 5-star passport through the temple, bruh. Anybody can get a passport." And it ain't gonna always be a 5-star. For whatever reason, everybody think that a 5-star is gonna give you some more rights than somebody else, and that means that it would take away from the 14th Amendment. Do everybody understand that part? Y'all keep trying to make some type of exclusive rights that somebody don't have, and it takes away the right of equal protection under the law. Y'all keep forgetting that part.
No, that's making sense. Step number one, all have those rights.
Bruh said, careful, you stepping into some hot shit right now. They already tried to call me out for it, and it's like, I can prove it. I know exactly what the freak I'm talking about. That's the reason why he said that you're part and partial, and that whatever government. So Morris Science Temple of America can be anywhere in America. If you want to establish in Canada, then those people who live in Canada, you're part and partial, which means that you are to obey the government that you are in. That means you are Canadian citizens. So be Canadian citizens. You're just representing your Moorish lineage while you're in Canada. That's it. And that means the constitution of that particular place. Now, do you got a religious constitution? Absolutely. Gay that too. It's to govern the people. Are you able to cast the sacred ballot? Absolutely. You have nobody can stop no form of religious place to stop from casting a ballot. Churches cast a ballot all the time to who's going to be the pastor, who's going to be the deacons, and all this other stuff. They've been doing this. But it is what it is, though. I don't care because people get mad because you saying this. Like, I'm not knocking any of that. Be what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? That don't stop nobody. It ain't stopping us from getting the win over here because y'all get upset about what we saying. I'm not saying any of that. What y'all doing is what y'all doing. Do it. Only thing I said was I understand exactly what Noble Drew Ali did. I get it to the fullest. And I totally agree with it. That's what MNRP is doing too. Same thing. Same thing. Right? When we read out, look, show you something. See if I can find it. Let me show you something. Y'all be waiting to see what I'm finna show y'all. Like, what he finna show us? Yeah, let me show you something. Oh, shit. All right, let me show y'all something. Let me help y'all understand. All right, this is the Constitution for Moorish National Republic of Peace. Beautiful cover, right? Very beautiful, I must say so. All right. I want y'all to listen to what we're about to say. The preamble says, we, the people of Moorish National Republic of Peace, descendants of the ancient, notice we said ancient, Kushite, and Moorish Berber nations whose civilization gave rise to the Martian and Morocco, and do hereby proclaim our inherent and divine right to religious self-governance, cultural preservation, and peaceful community development. In continuity with the ancestral Moroccan Moorish heritage and in accordance with the divine principle, natural law, and the lawful rights of free people to organize and govern their religious and cultural affairs, which is everything the Constitution says, United States Constitution says. We established this Constitution of Moorish National Republic of Peace as the governing charter of the MNRP religious order and its communities. We affirm that our authority proceeds from the Creator and that our law traditions are rooted in ancestral jurisprudence, moral righteousness, and the principle of peace, justice, and human dignity, and that our governance shall be exercised through the Supreme Religious Council, reflecting the will of the people under divine guidance. Moorish National Republic of Peace exists as a religious and cultural national community whose members are Moroccan nationals of MNRP religious orders, while also remaining nationals and citizens of the United States. Does that make any clarification for you guys? What we do internally does not take away from what you have on a political level. The purpose of this Constitution is to establish and guide the internal religious governance, cultural restoration, and community organization of Moorish people through lawful and peaceful means. It is the mission of the Moorish National Republic of Peace to acquire land, build communities, and establish local municipalities and religious institutions throughout the United States of America in accordance with the Constitution of the United States and the constitutions of the laws of the several states. Are y'all getting it yet? Through these lawful process, the people of MNRP seek to create Communities rooted in faith, justice, education, economic cooperation, cultural restoration, while exercising their constitutional right to peaceably assemble and organize for the advancement of their people. We renounce oppression, injustice, exploitation, and all forms of domination over others, and we commit ourselves to peaceful coexistence, lawful conduct, and mutual respect among all nations, peoples, and communities. Through this covenant, we renew our bond with the Creator, uniting as one people under faith, culture, and shared purpose, dedicated to restoration of human dignity, moral governance, and the upliftment of our communities for present and future generations. Okay? So there you go. There you go. I'm just helping you understand what this actually means. We're not saying we above the law of the land, but we are a people who can peacefully assemble and establish local governments that's in line with the state and the United States Constitution. Right? It's just that important. I mean, what else do y'all want to do? Anything else that you do outside of this is going to be considered to be anti-government. Anybody got questions right now? Y'all can ask, talk. Because otherwise, I'm finna roll up a fat one on y'all and shit. Call it a day. I'm trying to have some conversations, right? So we got to move in order. So a lot of people ask me what this flag means behind me. This is what it represents. What is our main goal? To establish local municipalities with our communities and people, and to establish MNRP religious buildings, culture, etc. The same way that you see these 7-day Adventists have colleges, and then they got grocery stores, and they got all this other type of stuff along with everything with their kids. Yeah, y'all ever seen that before? Anybody?
Yeah, churches all over do that.
They do it everywhere, don't they?
Over here in New York, too,
I'm gonna tell you something. I just watched people who are Indian Americans, not American Indians, but Indian Americans, which means they're from India, right? I just watched them build their own religious order down the street from me, literally. And me knowing those people, there's going to be more that comes with it. I'm pretty sure they already got a bunch of businesses around here locked in with other things as well. Definitely gas stations. No, what do you call it? Stereotyping, but I mean, damn, it's true. Shit. We know y'all got them. You feel me? But this is my point. And when you go in that gas station, it smells like straight fried chicken. And you go in there, you're gonna leave out smelling like fried chicken. Straight like fried food. But I'm just being, and the government will fund projects. Sincerely, you get it. See, if people want those reparations, and you go establish local communities, local municipals, then guess what? They gonna give you what you want and what you need to establish. God forbid you buy a white tee from there. I love it. Y'all, it's crazy. Y'all, it's clowning. Hey, why y'all ain't in here clowning with me? Y'all got the people on TikTok clowning with me. Y'all got special privilege to talk to me. They can't talk to me on TikTok. But seriously, reparations will be given to structural organizations. Facts. Why would they give you something when you're not ready for it? When you want to repair something, you're repairing your communities, etc. So what are you going to do that? And you have to establish yourself as such. You know what I'm saying? What else am I live on? We on YouTube. We on Facebook. YouTube. Our channel is In God We Trust Academy. On Facebook, just search Eric Ingram Bay. You can find me there too. And then, of course, here on TikTok. And Twitch. My bad. Twitch as well. We on Twitch. In God We Trust. We don't get too many people on Twitch. I guess because I don't really promote it. It's not even exactly. I agree. But that's what they want. That's what they're looking for. And you're gonna have to be able to go and establish yourselves in that way. But even then, even if you want to say to give yourself a form of reparations, then you gonna have to get in government to even do that yourself. You're not in government heavily to even give yourself that. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to help everybody to see this in a way that so we can continue to move on. We can stop chasing dreams. Stop chasing, you know what I'm saying? Illusions, illusionary dreams.
So Eric, in essence, the people have the same rights to establish their own forms of government, like how the Moorish have their form of government.
But see, a government is anything. You got to understand. McDonald's is its own government. It governs its employees, etc., to how it
Uh,
sees. That's a form of self-government through its own corporation. It's a private within itself. What I'm saying is this: if I got 300 people in MNRP and we all lived here in somewhere in Alabama, right? We could go to a place, buy up land, etc., and we can establish, and we do everything according to the Constitution, etc., that takes to create this municipal. Let's say we do everything that requires. We can literally establish a new local municipality. See what I'm saying?
yes.
Now, once we establish that once we establish that, then you got to realize, like, now I can go put my religious government in that municipal and county on the land that around in that particular land. The people will go there for the religious order, etc. It doesn't supersede U.S. constitutional law nor the state's constitution, because those two constitutions are protecting our religious right and culture, etc., and the right to peacefully assemble in that nature as well. So now your government is established according to the state that you are in, right? You do everything that you literally supposed to do to make sure that happens. So I mean, it's what you want it to be, how you want it to do, how you want to operate. This is something that, like I say, people haven't fully ran into. And at one point in time, our ancestors did do this heavily. That's the reason why y'all can say, hey, these towns were flooded. This town was blown up. It was predominantly black. Okay, so if you're gonna say if something was predominantly black, then that means those people would literally have to be what? The sheriff, the chief of police of the municipal. They have to be the judge. They have to be the prosecutor. They got to be all these different things too that people keep leaving out. Why? Because everybody just focuses on the damn dollar. That's the only reason y'all talk about these type of towns is because of the money. You never look at the fact that you held some form of authority. Now, let's say you do enough and you establish to move a certain amount of people into a certain amount in a county. And then you ain't necessarily gotta go establish a new one. Just you can literally move to one. Right? We can go pile all up in one right now. We can just say, all right, guys, we see that this is going to be the best place for us to set up. We're all going to move here. And then we move there, we stay there in the required years that you have to stay in the state. And then now we're going to start moving into what? Our political venues. So we're going to start putting people in certain places to run in government, etc. Y'all got to have a plan. You got to be willing to do it. You got to be able to do it. This ain't something that you just get to talk about and go on about your day. When Martin Luther King and et cetera and all them was talking about civil rights, et cetera, and all, yeah, political. They was political. They had to get you away from that. That was too much talk about law for the people. Y'all wouldn't you wouldn't really focus like even your greatest athlete was focused on political rights, the law, etc. Muhammad Ali for one. Muhammad Ali is more than great just because of his boxing skill. It was because of who he was as a person when it came to representation of, law and justice and order. That's what makes him great. It's the reason why, as wild as Tupac is in music, but that we like the fact that he stood up for something that was lawfully right and spoke on things in these nature. That's why he's great and will forever be great for it. Even when we talk about Malcolm X, the only reason Malcolm X is known in the way that he's known is because of the fact that he talked about justice and the concern of your rights, et cetera, as a people and how to move forward in that. If it wasn't for that, anything else that man was talking about, they wouldn't finna talk to him about that shit. So this is why, like me, it's no point to argue Hebrew, more, what else? Myrrh, this group, that group. Okay, who cares? Be the group that you're gonna be and assemble you got the right to assemble to be Hebrew Israelites. Assemble, go establish local municipalities, get yourself into government. I just like this is what's gonna fix it. Everybody thinks that you chasing some type of special hidden account, you get coming up with negotiable instruments, et cetera, that's gonna fix the situation. No, it's the law itself. And the next time, I'm gonna tell y'all this too. The next time somebody asks me, can they pay me and for any of my services, et cetera, with gold, you got to give me face value. Why you laughing, Ricardo?
It's just funny, man. 'Cause they don't get it. They don't get it. I guess.
You know what it means, don't
Yeah.
you? You got to pay me at face value then. You know what I'm saying? Pay me at face value. So if my class is 200, I need 4 1-ounce gold coins at face value. That's how you got to pay me. That means those 1-ounce gold coin is $50. I need 4 of them. Do you know how much 4 of those 1-ounce gold coins is gonna cost you to pay me with gold? Woo! How much y'all think that's gonna cost?
Over 10,000, about 12 to 13,000.
It's almost 5,000 for one right now. So we looking at about 18 grand. So you gonna go spend 18 grand to pay me almost 17, right? You gonna go pay that to pay me. Okay. Pay me then. Shit. I'm more than willing to accept your gold. Matter of fact, even if you wanted to say you wanted to pay me with listen, it costs $500 for 1/10 of gold, which is only in face value $5. But this is what people want to do. They want to. Well, we should pay in gold. Okay. You know who gonna look the most craziest though? The one who don't got the one who is a constant consumer. Boy, you gonna suffer. If you gotta pay in gold, man, you gonna suffer tremendously. Do y'all understand why? Is anybody understanding why? Hey, well, this is what I want from y'all. Whatever y'all smoking, whatever y'all own today, just give me that shit. I need it. All y'all finna go on punishment today.
I
Cause
need it.
what
I
the fuck is
need it.
y'all smoking today? Hmm? Y'all busy? Y'all working? What y'all doing? I ain't coming
They
here to
on that
talk to my damn
they
self.
on that OKC pack.
Hey, they did get killed out there. The hey, Spur Nation, baby. They on that OKC pack. I know that's real. I'm just trying to figure it out. What, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all all right today?
Man, bro, these sound lawsuits to me, man. I'm just doing one at a time, man. I got a
Oh, you
I
working?
got yeah, I got a tort claim going on too. You know, the clerk had been they had been sent me back the notification, you know, that they served the attorney general. So they said give them 30, 60 days and they gonna hit me back. So that's why I'm waiting on that. That's a big one. So I know it's gonna go well.
Okay, I got a question to ask y'all. Can they use child support to prevent your right of travel?
No.
No.
How would you stop it?
Again, you could prove that it's harming a child because if they take away your right to travel, your right to travel, then how you gonna get to and from where you need to go to take care of your child?
First
So
of
that's
all,
put.
this not even a court of record to even deprive you of any of your rights. Number one, you have a right to a trial by jury. So a family court can't provide that to you either. That's one. The other thing is the right of travel cannot be infringed upon either because it's a right that is protected by due process. So what due process does a family court that deals with child support, what does it offer you that is righteous in depriving you of that right? Isn't child support a subdivision of the Child Security Administration? No. Title 4D is what they're operating off of. Now, but you have to understand why this can't. So that's why I say now, here's the reason. The reason why they try to deprive you of it is because a what? Contempt order. They try to say you are in contempt. You in contempt of something. Now, if you, how can you be in contempt? And I tell people all the time, the way you stay out of contempt of anything, right? the way you stay out of that at all is, especially when it comes to child support. This is for beginners. Just tell them you don't got the ability to pay, because now they can't prove contempt. Just that simple. I don't have the ability to pay. So now they got to go back and recalculate everything and show you have the ability to pay. Now, some people will say, man, you got about $10,000 sitting in your bank account. Yup, that money's accounted for. You can't make me take some money that's already accounted for in relation to expenses, etc. You don't know what it's for. It could be for future expenses, whatever. just to know. What do you want to do? And this is for the simplest thing for the average person who don't know this. This is what you can do. Don't walk in no damn child support court talking about they ask you got some money here to pay for the day. You do not say no. You just say I don't have the ability to pay. I lost my job. I have no work. I have no this. That's it. It's over with. It's over. That's one of the fastest ways that you can help somebody protect themselves from going to jail, because you cannot be in prison for debt. Every state constitution states that. So all you got to do is make it about debt and consider yourself in debt. I don't got no money. And any money that I do have is already asserted and accounted for. Right? So how can you prove that taking away my whether it's your driver's license, child support, etc., how is that in for the best interest of the child? They ain't gonna railroad me. I've already done it. It's easy to say you ain't got no job. Tell them to show proof of employment. If you tell them you ain't got no job, then you can't show no proof of employment. So tell them to show proof of employment. Show me where I got a job at then, buddy. And again, even if you do got a job, your expenses raises. So if your expenses went up based upon to your right of living, etc., they got to recalculate that shit again, buddy. You understand what I'm saying? They got to recalculate that all over again. Why? Because I gained 100 pounds and I eat more now. Shit, I got to. You feel me? So there's a lot going on around here. Shit. The expenses in life has changed. That's all you got to do. You can dispute it that way too. I'm just trying to help people who is not advancing what y'all trying to say, and that the only reason you going to jail is because of contempt. And you're saying that you didn't follow an order from the court, and to keep away from that, always question the debt. Always question the ability to pay. Are they even creditors? Did they credit you anything? Nope. That's another question you can ask. Now that's going to edit that way for sure. For real, for real. And you got to ask yourself, are these people in these cases being compensated? So if they are compensated according to Title 4D that the Child Support Enforcement Agency does contracts with, whether it's the court, whether it's the prosecutor, whether it's who else can be involved? The sheriff, etc. It could be a lot of people, whoever they choose, and other private entities they do as well, right? To help find out, you know, if you got any type of income to find you in relations to, bring you to court, etc. Matter of fact, since this your kid, like you think, pay me child support now. You feel me? Shift it towards them. But all of this is in your power to do, is all I want to say, family. Like, this is your ability to do this. And if you do it right, then you're going to win. Somebody said they've been on night shift. I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with it. The lab tech got to get paid. They do, for real. So it's just ways to stop it. You don't got to fully go into something to let them harm you. And I just always say, like, the easiest thing for the average person to understand is go read in your Constitution where it says you cannot be in prison for debt. So learn from that and learn from the fact that all you need to bring up is the ability to pay. Mm-hmm. Like, and y'all gotta start questioning that. Let's say you get less hours. You got less hours this month. If I get less hours this month and they giving me less hours from this point on for the next couple of months, man, we finna go right back in here. Recalculate. They gonna get tired of seeing me. We recalculating every time. And guess what? When I start making money, I ain't mentioning this shit about recalculating a damn thing. Now, there's ways you can dismiss it and all of that. I understand that, but I'm just trying to help people who not gonna have that type of knowledge. Like, you just got to know how to play the little game based upon the words they trying to ask you. But there's also things that has to be done right according to due process in relations to this as well. So you need to be able to ask the right questions and don't let things just happen. I was watching one where Child Protecting Services, this one person was at the state. They was in front of the Supreme Court. And they was just asking them some questions like, so you mean to tell me that y'all take this person's child, this person has to be without their child, then they got to prove everything it is to get their child back. And here we are already at the Supreme Court. They was letting them know we finna give the child back to this person. But they had to go this whole entire time. They was like, so that means everything that deals with CPS is considered unconstitutional. They literally said that. Simple. It's unconstitutional. Based upon, because you got a right to the child. They can't just take your child without due process. So if they just show up and then boom, take your child. What the fuck? Where's court? Not they take your child and now you have to present yourself to the court to do everything to get your child back under what they consider to be allegedly making presumptions about you against you. That's unconstitutional as shit. Exactly. That kills out the checks and balances and the separation of powers as well too. So that's perfect. An administrative court cannot take your kids that's not in the powers or not in their powers of duty, and that's true. It's not. But people just go in these forums and allow it to happen for their conveniency. Most of these courts that's been set up, especially those particular courts according to statute, guys, y'all have to know these courts are for conveniency. Conveniency. That's it. You don't have to stay in any court for a convenience. You don't have to give away a right for the conveniency of the state or local governments, etc. You don't got to do that. It's just an offer. And you can shake the whole ship up if you want to, but if you choose to go along with the form, then that's on you, right? It's fully on you. So let's make sure that we move in the right manner in the way that we're supposed to. An executive branch court making a judicial determination is wild. Facts. It is. But that's what we got going on today. And it kills for the separation of powers in it. But the people, the only way this happens, when the people become ignorant of the law, and that's what happens. All day long. All right, guys. So listen, not gonna hold y'all any longer up in here, for sure. But we will be Wednesday. I got something special. Y'all ain't gonna be able to sit back on and just sit in here and not like. I really want whatever y'all on today. Y'all on edibles, what y'all on shrooms, PCP, like. What y'all on? Because I know y'all ain't on the white light, then y'all would literally be crunk talking hella shit up in here. So I know it ain't that one. To make sure y'all straight. So we do got the conference though. Hope to see y'all there. Hope you ready for it. This is the month that people start pouring in strongly. So if you just been trying to wait till the last minute, I promise you there are limitations of seats and they will be up real soon, right? We do got the trust class June the 7th. It's $20 to get in the trust class. Do you guys want to get in? You're more than welcome. Wherever you're watching from on the platform, just know TikTok, you can go on my story mode or send me a DM and I'll send a flyer to you so you can do what you need to do. It's $20. $20. All right? Just so you can know. I appreciate y'all and y'all time as always. And I got some stuff coming up, but I just want to make sure we don't start doing too much at one time. Because at one time, I almost had y'all on like 3 or 4 different things. We was doing the FCRA. We was over here doing the tax class. I said, yeah, that's too much for some people. Somebody was mixed up like hell. Like, hey, hold on, we going too fast. I can't do all this at once. What can we focus on one subject? Okay, we got you. But I'm trying to make sure I cater to everybody in a way that y'all can get what you need. But we still got the debt collection procedure form to go through, which that's like a 10 volume series. We still got the Truth and Lending Act series to go through as well. Uh we still got the civil procedure case, make civil procedure and strategies to go through. Have I showed y'all that yet? I don't think y'all
I
see
don't
it.
think so.
We still got that one to go through, and we got criminal to go through. I'm thinking about doing a tour though with those, so I'm gonna have to figure it out how I'm gonna do it. But if I can get enough to where we can do, then we'll do a couple of live tours around with people and go over these specific classes to get done. But I gotta definitely make sure it's worth the time and the movement. I ain't gonna press a lot of stuff to happen and the participation be lack. I ain't gonna do all of that. I can just stay at home. For real, for real. All right, so here we go. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Can y'all see it now?
Yep.
This is the Lawman Civil Procedure Handbook. Is for strategy, jurisdiction discovery, and courtroom operations. Um, it's the foundations of civil procedure, what civil procedure actually is, the hierarchy of the authority, how that applies, jurisdiction before uh, authority and jurisdiction as well. Well, authority is first, the hierarchy of authority. Then it goes into the jurisdiction. Then standing and real party and interest. Venue and form selection is the next. Capacity to sue and be sued. Commencing and attacking civil actions. That's also in there. So, also responding to a lawsuit, motion to strike or more definite statements, pleadings and procedural warfare as well. So understanding how to do that. It's 295 pages worth of stuff. So it's just like you truly understanding how to handle yourselves in civil procedures, right? And even knowing how to go sue if you have to as well. So that is there. And then we also got the criminal procedure handbook as well too. So we got both of those, which is a lot to go through. So I think that when that time comes, we're gonna have to sit down and figure out, how we're going to space all of this out. Because one of the books is 500 pages, and this one's pretty much 295 pages, 300 pages in all, just about. So, and I think this has templates, all kind of stuff in it too as well. Yeah, as you can see, so
Cool.
it's got everything in it. So that's gonna be coming up available as well too. Like once we get through, and I'm glad we're doing it this way because the Lawman series as well as the God's Law My Salvation conference. Once we get through with that particular conference, then this is going to lead you into literally exercising, fully handling your cases, etc., the correct way, according to this civil procedure handbook and the criminal procedure handbook that I have, right? Which what we'll be going into coming up in the future about a lot of this. So just hope y'all ready for that as well and get on board. Um, anything else? Anybody got questions, stuff like that? Just hit me up, let me know, and we're gonna get ready. James Jackson, just go to just on my story mode. If you go click on the story there, or just DM me and I'll send it to you. I'll send you the flyer. That's fine. All right, guys. I got a little hunger going on right now. Um, if you guys don't come
Quick
in here,
question, E.
who got the question? What's up?
King Biggs, peace. What conference was that we talked about the garnishment and getting rid of that?
I don't know, but we did do one on garnishments though, didn't we?
Yes, we
Yeah, we
did.
did. That was like in two or three. I done watched a couple times for.
I
Okay.
thought we did one here recently though.
So I don't know. I know the one from like from a minute ago.
Yeah, I have a book, ebook from you that I read, but it was from a minute ago. Yeah, too.
Yeah, I think. Let me go look on the website. And also, if you want the 10 Lawman book series, it is half off. Half off is one because it's 333, so we get it at 166.50. But if you send cash out, just send 166. Don't worry about the 50. We're not worried about it. Uh, yeah, debt collector and garnishment defense services. It's an ebook.
Okay.
That's a service. My bad. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Garnishing. That's in season 4.
Season 4. Okay.
Yep,
All right.
that's the only one I have at this particular time that I do see, but that's in season 4.
Gotcha.
But there's other ones
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know we talked about it a couple times. I was trying to go back through all that stuff. Man, it's a lot.
yeah, just ask. Yeah, you did right by asking though. I know it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. I get confused about it sometimes, so I have to go look. How long is the sale? The sale dealing with the books in total is just a week. So just this entire week. But we have sales all the time, guys. So just you'll see us have a sale at least once a month, or once every month for sure. And it'll be like there might be a bundle sale as like that as a bundle sale. We might put something, whatever. If you will see something, right? There'll always be something going on, class going on, pretty much every month. And there's going to be a conference going on pretty much every 3 months. So that'll give you guys to prepare for the conferences and stuff that you want to go to. So the next conference that we will be doing is going to be in September. I'm still, I guess we'll push to East Coast, I guess. Yeah, that'll be the best time for us to do that at that particular time. But yeah, we're going to get there and get that done as well. So y'all just lock in with us though. Whatever it is, we're gonna be here and we're gonna get started back on some studying in here in the work sessions, etc. Today, I just gotta put a few things together for us to get up on as well. Now, listen, I know when we start getting to certain parts, and I mean this for real, y'all. Like people that's with us, they in here, they gonna stay with us. But anybody else, like if they just ran off and left because we didn't fit their narrative of things, listen, man, when we start talking about stuff and y'all start seeing all this success, I promise you, you're not getting in this though.
Okay.
Listen, I'm at the point where I'm not. I promise y'all, I'm not dealing with no foolishness. If you lack of participation, you don't want to do this, don't do that, whatever. It's over with. I'm good. I didn't have enough of that in my life. I promise you. So when we get to talking about certain stuff, don't pop in here because you think we're not gonna let you in here. It's over with. And that's what everybody do. People want to be. They want the luxury of the chasing the accountant. Chasing stuff when it comes to money. They want that part the most, and all. But then when it comes to them finna get evicted or something like that, they crying for help. Help me. I put a negotiable instrument in the case and it didn't work because you didn't do it right. You don't understand what you're supposed to be doing and why you so hurrying to pay something when somebody hasn't shown proof of authority. And you're going to have to also prove that negotiable instrument is supposed to be accepted in contract. So prove that where they said that they was going to accept what you're trying to give them in contract as a form of settlement. And guess what? Majority of the people that try that shit, you can't prove it because it don't say it in the contract, does it? And if you do some type of special endorsement, et cetera, it's also going to tell you to send to a specific area and place most of the time because they're going to allow their legal team to look at it as well. So that's why I tell you tender of performance. How many of y'all remember tender of performance? Just did a tender of performance for somebody the other
Yeah.
I
day.
do.
Yep, I literally just did this for somebody the other day. Got everything we wanted out of it too. And we put it in the I did it in the way that you would, how I said that when I send my stuff off, it's gonna look like a lawsuit. Yeah, I did it just like that. letting them know we're not playing. And guess what they did? They settled the fuck out. Debt collector said, well, you don't owe us anything. Do not worry about us ever coming after you, basically to try to collect the debt from you again. Have a great day. I know that because you ain't going to be able to prove. And if you go to court with the little information that you have, you still ain't going to win. Not going to win. So make sure y'all lock in. Appreciate you guys. All love. For those of you who want to be around for anything else I do for the rest of the day, it will be on TikTok. Now, don't ask me what time I get on there. I just pop up. So, but that's where I be at. Because for some reason, on Facebook, ever since I put people in their place about shit, let me see how many people we got on Facebook. Y'all they gonna play it too, don't y'all? We got one person on Facebook that's watching. I went from having anywhere from 20 to 30 people, 40 people maybe watching anytime I go live on Facebook. Now we down to one person every time. So that's why I stopped going live on there. Because I started realizing they started shadow banning my shit. So I only do it when we do this. Even when it comes to YouTube, I might start streaming on there just as well, just to see how y'all act. But if not, the talk is where it's at. So if y'all be looking for me, that's why that's why I don't be going live on Facebook and all that a lot, because again, I mean, TikTok's just better. The people over here are better. I'm sorry. They're more active, more this, more that. Then you get over here to Facebook and it's like, this is the uppity world. It is for real though. Y'all not gonna play it. When you get into this type of stuff, you'll start seeing. And if you really use Facebook, Facebook is only good for like you do reels. You do reels on Facebook, stuff like that. It'll help out. That's for anybody that's doing content. Do your reels. Make sure that you be consistent. But what I've also learned is this: you have to warm up your account. So what that means is you got to go engage. You got to go like. So if you into content created, make sure you go like somebody's stuff. You share. Make sure you watch full videos. Make sure you comment. Don't just put a little dot, whatever. Make sure you actually comment, whether it's a phrase, whatever. Make sure that you engage into the actual activity. It's going to warm up your account. Then you put out whatever you want to put out. And then now it's not going to be so suppressed so easily, because you got to realize these social platforms, when they start seeing you doing stuff without their help, then it becomes a problem. So they're going to suppress it because they want you to do what? Advertise. They want you to pay for advertisement. That's how they make most of their money. And if they're able to allow this particular advertisement through your feed or whatever the case may be, then they're going to automatically make sure that your videos, et cetera, is pushed out the most too. So make sure y'all just be mindful of that as well. So yeah, they literally had to apply this because they don't want a 13-year-old coming on here and making millions of dollars. So they had to stop that. They had to find a way to limit the capacity of people that you can reach. You know? So, yeah. Just if y'all wonder why I don't go live as much on Facebook as I used to. And that's why. Because I know they shadow ban it. Even when I post stuff, they shadow ban it. Right now, it says 0 people. So, yeah. I probably, in fact, probably from this point on, I probably just do reels and post on what's name Facebook. I probably won't be going live on there no more. So those of y'all on Facebook, y'all won't get that luxury anymore. Yeah, probably just going to get rid of that. Get on up out of here. I think that's what's best for real, to be honest, because I don't want to waste my time. And I know I have almost over 60,000 followers, and you mean to tell me I don't got not one out of my 60,000 followers on there watching? Yeah. You ain't got to tell me you don't want me here, Facebook. You ain't got to tell me twice. What that sound like to y'all?
So a bunch of hate.
A bunch of something, bro, but they do it. I promise you. I'm sitting here looking at it now. For real, for real. Now, I also know the longer I stay on, like the thing about TikTok, like sometimes it pops off pretty fast, but if I stay on here long enough, then it'll start adding more people because I've been on here long enough, up to 2-3 hours, and then it started. Then after that, I'm tired. Shit, I ain't got time to. I'm not gonna be sitting on here to 7-8 hours and stuff like that, man. I can't do that. Now you might get 7-8 hours out of me fractionally, but not all at one time. Ain't no way I can sit here and do that with y'all. Ain't that much entertainment or talking in the world for me to do that all in one setting. So it's already hard to do a conference and stand up there for 5 hours. Y'all be doing like, y'all be nodding y'all head right there in front of me. Falling asleep and shit. I had somebody mouth wide open, sitting dead in front of me. Boy, I started to throw something in their mouth so fast. I was just looking at her like, boy, your mouth, I can see all your food you ate today. Yeah, I see all that. But it happens though. They be falling asleep. Mr. Biggs, he almost fell asleep too. When he came, what the first time I seen him? We were in Atlanta. Bro was
I
knocked.
ain't fall asleep, bro.
You did. You almost did. Goddamn, you almost did. That boy was dying, and then he got himself right. Boy, he woke up. But we was in there a long time though. I ain't gonna lie, cause like every time I do it, we was like, man, we need to separate the time in this, cause by the time I let you go take a little quick break and you get that, and everybody go get that little snack, put some food on their stomach. Shit, they come back 5 minutes, they sleep, going to sleep. But we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy Atlanta though for sure. Like I just really hope that. I know we're gonna have a great turnout on live. I know that, but I really want y'all to have a great turnout in person, so y'all can really get the feel and enjoyment of what you are involving and putting yourself around. And don't be afraid to network with people. You're gonna meet a lot of great people that do a lot of stuff, differences in everybody. So take and use that to your advantage as well. You have to. If you don't, then you only came and enjoyed 25% of it, which was just the conference itself. You got to enjoy the fellowship. You got to enjoy the networking. You got to enjoy the building of that as well. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to help continue. So once I get back started on this, man, this is we in full fledged, like I said. So pretty much every 3 months after we get started with this conference, we're gonna be doing a conference every 3 months. Getting back
I
into
ain't
the
fall
groove.
asleep at that dinner you and Nikki had for us.
You said what, bro?
I said I ain't fall asleep at that dinner you and Nikki had for us.
Nah, we ain't fall asleep at the dinner, did we? Not at all, we didn't. But yeah, man. But you always been good, bro. Like I always say I appreciate you and everything like that, bro. For sure, you always been supportive and just fellowship and etc. with us, and you and whoever you bring with you as well too is all. It's always been love. So I appreciate you as well. But I can continue to talk on, guys. Let me get up out of here. I'll be back in a couple hours or something like that on TikTok. Yeah, I'm done letting. Because the only way I get some love on Facebook is I got to go in here and start a controversy post. So if y'all see a controversy post going, it's because they've been shadow banning me type shit. So I know how to get y'all riled up. Trust me, I know exactly what to do. Yeah, it's just, the number one name to get everybody going is Trump. So if you want to get some likes on your page, talk about Trump. You'll get some likes. Okay? The next thing is, it's just all you gotta do is comment, just put on there and say everybody is U.S. citizens. Then you're gonna get some controversy. they go hate it. So I'm telling you, they gonna get pissed off. They gonna get so mad, boy. But it's gonna help your page out though. They gonna say some stuff. They gonna call you some foul names, and you're gonna be every name. You're gonna be a stupid motherfucker. You're gonna be all of that. But it's okay. It did what it needed to do. All right. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next controversial name, like if you like sports, if you somebody to talk about sports, talk about LeBron James. Do the same thing ESPN do. You're gonna get some controversy. All you gotta do is say LeBron James the GOAT. Controversy. Quick. I'm trying to tell you. This is what you gotta do. A lot of y'all run from it, but ain't no sense of running it from it. It's always gonna be on somebody on the opposite side that don't fully agree with what you agree with. But then people are triggered. And a lot of people come on my posts when I'm giving information, they just want to let me know they are informed about something instead of sticking to the context that's actually being said in the status, which is let you know these people are triggered by words. So say the right words. All I got to do is use the word person, United States, corporation, and something else, and I say it in a way that controverts that goes against the way people think about that. There you go. Y'all think I'm playing, don't y'all? You want me to show y'all on my Facebook? 'Cause it's right there. The last time I had a heavy encounterance is when I said on there that you a goddamn lie if you say that there's a such thing as a state national. They got pissed. Yeah, when I told them this and when I said that when they said all statutory codes is considered to be what they say unconstitutional, they said all of them. Then we proved that. When I said about being in order for you to be a citizen of the state, you got to be a citizen of the United States. We proved that. Right? So yeah, that's what controversy do. 127 shares, 271 likes, and 135 comments talking pure straight trash about me. Hey man, I'm just telling y'all. You folks do know a term is not a word. Both indicate a collection of letters that form meaningfulness in units in every language. But see, you don't understand. So that's just like if I write a book and say, hey, in my book, Ricardo Milan is we're going to say he's a Jamaican. I don't know. We're going to say he's a Jamaican something, right? That's what we're going to describe him as in my book, right? And then somebody going to go find Ricardo and they're going to look at Ricardo. They going to say, I don't know if he's a Jamaican. But it don't matter about what you looked at. In my book, that's the definition of what Ricardo is being described at. You can't take it and mean nothing else in my book. Doesn't matter what you think. This is what my book say. And if you read and by going to look at Ricardo and you try to establish anything else about Ricardo that relates to my book, then you're not going to understand who Ricardo is in my book. Does that make sense?
Complete
Yeah,
sense.
man.
And this is what people do. They will literally see that it says for the interpretation of any acts of Congress. So that means that this is going to do what? Interpret and define its meaning. Then somebody be like, no, that ain't what it means. Well, what does it mean then? I mean, shit. I want what you smoking. Because whatever got you living like that, we need it. We need to give it to the world. They need they need that. They need what you want. For real. What y'all eating today? What you cooking today, Ricardo?
Mom made some chicken breast with some rice, beans.
Hmm. Okay. That sounds like it's fine. Empress, Majestic, what you cooking?
I'm fasting this week. Start my birthday month off right.
Okay. Okay. She fasting up this week. All right, then. We're going to check on you when the fast is over because we know you cooking in, right?
I'ma throw it down.
I feel you. Hey. Okay. You already know who I'm coming to next. Monique, I know you in the kitchen. What you cooking?
I ain't in the kitchen now, but I'm making potato soup for dinner.
Okay, okay, potato soup. All right. Watch this. Nikki Ingram Bay, what you cooking today?
Chitlins, hog balls.
Oh hell no.
Nothing.
Not in this damn kitchen. She said nothing. So the question is now, what am I cooking? That's the question, ain't it? Because it's over here storming. Who else in here? Miss Robinson, what you on? What you cooking today? Oh. Big said he cooking hog maws. Chillin'. Boy.
Actually, I've been on my fruit, man. I'm a fruitarian.
Okay, you put some hog maw with it?
No, I don't hog maw.
Yeah. Just go in there, take your hog maw, put it in boiling water, put your fruit in there with it, get you a little broth, add a little broth with it, salt and pepper, and
That
then let
sounds disgusting.
hey, just saying.
Disgusting.
Somebody will eat it. They hungry. So, that don't sound disgusting. Let's see who else up in here. I just want to know what y'all cooking. I'm trying to get an idea. As you can see, the wifey ain't cooking, so I got to figure something out. I got to figure out something. Yeah, Miss Ford, you cooking today? Miss Ford, she probably in court with somebody right now talking shit to their ass too.
Main thing, I've been in that gym, man, 7 days straight so far.
See, I ain't even go today. Went yesterday. But my shoulder been, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened, but I'm trying to get it back together. So I just been kind of relaxing, not doing too much. Shoot, I done already lost about 10 pounds. How much y'all think I weigh right now then? Wild guess.
230.
250.
Damn. So if I lost 10 pounds, you thought I weighed 260? I mean, you actually see me in person, so I mean you can make that. But no, I'm down to 245 now.
Okay.
I'll be in the 230s later. A lot of people don't. I guess if you just see me here, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably about anywhere between some people say 6'2". I still say 6'1.5", but doctors say you're 6'2". But yeah, so I'm about 6'2", and I've been like fluctuating. I've been I was in the 250s for about 3-4 months. That baby, yeah. After we had when we had Kari, that was 223, 215. Shit, I wish I could get back. I'm not gonna go under 225 though. Once I get to 225, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna be no smaller than that. But if you see me in person, you'd be like, yeah, you probably about 240 something. But just looking at me on the screen or something, some people don't know. Till you see me in person, then it's like, yeah, you a big. I had one dude, he was like, yeah, you a big dude. I was like, just see my cousin. I'm all right. But my cousin's way bigger than me. If you think I'm big, and he's more athletic. But my family like that. My family run big like that. My daddy was about 6'4", maybe 5. My granddad definitely was like 6'6", 6'7", somewhere off in there. My brother just as tall as me. Most of my I got a few short cousins, but most of them, they all 6 foot, just about. Yeah. We got some short ones, but majority of the top, a lot of men, we 6 foot. We hitting 6 foot now. So y'all looking for y'all a 6 foot man, go get your Ingram.
Stop bragging, bro. You seen me in person. I'm lucky to be this. My mama 5'3" and my pops was 5'2".
See,
It's awful.
that's the thing. My grandma was about 4'9". I don't even think she was 5 foot, bruh. She's a
Mm.
little bitty thing. Yeah, she was
5'8"
she
is
was
all I
small.
get.
She was small, man. But my dad, like my granddad, everybody say I look like my granddaddy though. So, but I never got to actually meet him in person. But I do know he was tall. And if he was tall on the pictures I seen him in, he was taller than my uncles and them. Then I'm like, yeah, he got to be about 6'6" because he stood at least 3-4 inches over them. My dad was tall. My dad, like I said, my dad was a tall, big man, probably about, like I say, anywhere from 6'3", 6'4", and still about 275. Growing up, when you talking about a big man with just muscles, I watched him pick up motors out of trucks, literally bare hands, pick it up out of there.
Wow.
You say what?
I said, wow.
Like I ain't bullshit. I ain't telling no lie. I promise you, I'm dead ass serious. That man could literally lift a motor out of a truck by himself. Big dude. Was supposed to go play in Syracuse in college. He was a top athlete, and he didn't go because he didn't want to leave from his family. So maybe if he would have did that, maybe I wouldn't have me here today. But let me get out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.